morning, Chair.
It seems my watch is just failing me big time. I need to ask someone to set it for me. Morning, members, Ilego.
Good afternoon, Chair.
Ah,
Good morning, Chair.
stop being spicy. It's
Good morning,
so
Chair.
not good. How are
good
you?
morning.
How are you, my honorable member and my favorite member also? Good morning.
Thank
I'm
you. Good
blessed.
morning.
Who are you referring to, me or Kayla?
No,
Am I
Isaac, I'm the favorite.
Okay, accepted.
Thank you, members. Is past 9 and we are a quorum, so we have to continue. And I need to start by saying thank you very much for availing yourself for it's just, our agenda is just adoption of a lot of documents that I do have, the minutes and the reports that I just wanted us to finish adopting them, since we'll be going to the budgets, and after the budgets there won't be human settlements, so we need to wrap up everything that says human settlements before the 1st of April, because the name change will be in place. So I appreciate you for being available today after such a short notice to do this. Shamis, let's, for record purpose, let me ask you members to introduce yourself just for the record. My name is Matlodi Maseko, Chairperson for Standing Committee. Over to you, members.
Good morning, Kayla Murray, member of the committee.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning to the staff. Member Mbulelo Isaac Sileku, member of the committee. Good morning.
Thank you very much, honorable member, and morning Nomfudom Shupela, morning Candice Morris, and morning Shamis Jones. Shamis, let's start with first on the agenda. I think we can flag the first. Okay, thank you. The first one, it will be for the 28th of November. And I know members, member Marie was there, and member America and myself. So it will be me. Why Bingio Lely, if you can correct the surname there, of ministry. Something doesn't sound okay on the surname of after Minister Simas.
I'll check the spelling, Chairperson.
I think you remove I after G. Okay, please check it and correct it. I think it's still not wrong. It's still not wrong. No, it's still wrong. So if you can check it for me, we can continue. Okay, members, that was for the deliberation of vote 8 for the adjustment appropriation bill. Let's go to the end. I think of this deliberation. You can move quicker. Thank you. Concerns that were raised was regarding possible eviction of 17 tenants who owe the department 2 million unpaid rental. Minister Smith indicated that the matter of evictions will be taken up with cabinet, and that we considered and adopted the draft committee report at the end, and that is the end. Can we adopt the minutes, members?
Proposed, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. I will second that. Member Sidaku was not there. And the minutes of the proceedings of the 27th of January Member Fry was standing in. Member Sileku, you were there. We can continue. Is Member Maran double R or one R, Shimish?
Double R, Chairperson.
Okay, let's continue. Okay. Let's continue. These are the minutes of what happened. Let's continue. It's a extortion agenda. Okay, we got the briefing by the City of Cape Town, the briefing by Community Safety, the briefing by Department of Human Settlements and the South African Police Services. And there was also an oral submission from Ms. Lavina Fortune and Ms. Elizabeth Smith and Ms. Geraldine Peterson. So the resolutions were, one, the committee requested that City of Cape Town provided with progress report on its investigation into the complaints raised by members of the public on matters of extortion. Did we indicate the period of that the progress report should be quarterly, or we just left it that way, Shamis?
There was nothing said, Chairperson, as to whether it should be quarterly.
Okay. Members, are you okay with it that way, or you would want us to put the timeframes of the progress reports? Member Seleko?
Thank you very much, Chair. I think it's important that we put some timeframes so that we can track the progress in that regard.
Okay, what will work for us? A suggestion?
Yeah, since it goes administrative and it's let's rely quarterly for now, Chair. I would propose that we do quarterly reports, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. There it is, Shamis, already continue. The second one, that the Department of Human Settlement, the Department of Community Safety, City of Cape Town, provided with one report that contains the following information. And that is the information that we need at the time when the policy on the 30% to designated groups comes into effect, the way in which the change in the bylaw affects the community with specific reference to the negative and positive impact the change in the policy will have, the safety and security strategies in terms of extortion that will be implemented, a list of the extortion hotspots and the strategies that were implemented to deal with the identified problematic areas, the mechanisms implemented to create awareness in communities regarding the ramifications of extortion, the way in which to report extortion, how whistleblowers will be safeguarded, the budget allocated to combat extortion, land invasion, illegal housing occupation, and the deployment of LEAP officers. There are mechanisms that were implemented to ensure that contractors are qualified to fulfill their contractual obligations, and the mechanisms that were implemented to provide guidance to subcontractors. So those are the documents, that is the information that is needed. Kayla, I recognize you, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I was unfortunately not at this meeting as I wasn't ATC'd at the time. But just looking at this now, and in light of the recent issues that we've seen on the extortion of informal traders, I was wondering if this could be added, and possibly in relation to infrastructure and how land is, sorry, I'm just trying to find my best English now, and possibly into how land is designated for the use of informal traders. So trying to understand who is it that gets those rights to informally trade, and also understanding if there is an element of people possibly subcontracting or subletting those places. If that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, so if we can put how like how land is designated for informal traders and I'm trying to get the control systems in place. And then under you put the safety, the monitoring, and what else? Does it make sense? Does it cover everything?
I'm just going to reread it. How land is designated for informal traders, and if there is an element, maybe remove and if there is an element and say, and whether it has been reported that these units are being subletted illegally. And then in terms of safety, understanding.
So you want it to sound like it's as and say that how is the municipality, what is the reported that the units have, whether it has been reported that the units have been subletted, and if that is the case, if they can give us the information of what is in that contract, what is in that subletting contract. That's the information that you need.
And then similarly, whether SAPS has received any reports of extortion from informal traders and what action they've taken.
Okay. Member Seleku, I saw your hand initially.
It was a legacy hand, Chair. Thank you.
No, it was an old hand.
Member Kyla, can you just provide me with the last of that sentence?
Thank you. Also provide contract for subletting. Hold on, let me just reread this. How land is designated for informal traders and whether it has been reported that units have been subletted illegally. Maybe we can say to the municipality or by the municipality, just noting that that is something that is a municipal capacity.
Yeah.
For that first sentence, Shamiz.
In the municipalities.
Okay.
Just say it again so that I know where.
And also provide contract for how land is designated for informal traders and whether it has been reported to the municipality.
Reported to.
Yeah, to the municipalities.
If the units have been subletted illegally. Also.
If there are units, just put if there are units. Let's make it if we don't know. It's still an allegation.
Mm-hmm.
If there are units that have been subletted, continue.
Then also provide contract for subletting. I suppose we can do that as well. Subletting is illegal, so not that. If SAPS has received reports from informal traders.
Okay, just give me 1 second.
So
if SAPS, so it's whether.
Okay.
Whether
SAPS
has received reports from
informal traders of extortion and what action has been taken and whether action has been taken
and
or whether step.
Yeah, whether it, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate your indulgence, Chair.
You're welcome. Okay. Thank you. With that, thank you. Members, can we adopt these minutes?
I so propose, Chair, with those amendments from your favorite. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Member. And seconded by Member Mary and solely adopted. Let's go to the business plan. Okay.
Chairperson,
So-
just through you, this is the business plan for the financial year. So as you'll note, it starts from April 2023. And but I have included in here the
Okay, why-
expenses.
Okay, okay. Member August, good morning. And I see you raised your hand. Welcome. And you may address us.
Morning, Chairperson. I'm so sorry. I had some connection problems. I've restarted my device and I'm now joining the meeting. Sorry for being late. I have been trying since 5 to 9 already.
Okay, now, so duly noted. It's fine. We appreciate you being available. We already adopted some of the minutes and the reports. We are now on our program. Okay, Standing Committee on Human adjusted budget is 324,644, and our expenditure is 352,146. We did over.
Yes, we did have an overspending, Chairperson. The overspending amounted to 30,967. I'm not sure whether you want me to include it on here.
Yeah.
Should I?
No.
Oh, okay.
And let's continue the comments. So this is the allocation that was initially for, okay. Now is our expenditure, anticipated expenditure for 2023-24, hey?
Yep, so I'll start
Okay.
from the beginning. I'll just go right back to the top. I just
Okay.
needed to show you that breakdown.
Go through it with us.
Okay, so we have an oversight visit to Witzenberg, but with the public hearings that's coming, I'm not sure whether we'll be able to do this. This is scheduled for April. Then we have the international study tour for May. And
Okay.
then Mitsikama, another oversight visit there. We've indicated the 4,000 Rand budget for accommodation. Then we have the quarterly report. June, we have a human settlements meeting, and that is when we anticipate starting with public hearings. But I think that will be sooner. I'm not sure. We will see. In here, you'll note that we've made provision for approximately 4 public hearings in terms of travel and accommodation.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Continue. I will talk to that. Don't move from it.
Okay.
Okay, so remember, we are going to have the expropriation bill, and the expropriation bill, it's quite a very serious bill that I tend to believe there's a lot of interest from the communities. Now we have to take a decision of how many, just to, so that the allocation of the funds can talk to what the members wish for. I said to Shumis, we can have about 10 public hearings. But anticipate that in that 10 public hearings, we are going to have a lot of people. I'm wondering if me and Shumis, that idea, it sounds good with you, or there is another suggestion from the members? Because this is not cast in stone. We are trying to look, and I want to hear from you if you have another ideas. How can we go about in prep for this bill?
Sorry, Chair, can you please repeat the question?
So I was suggesting that it's an expropriation bill, and I was suggesting that we can have about 10 public hearings. Now the challenge might be we are going to have a lot of people that will be doing submissions. And in expropriation, you need to make sure that the legislative framework, it covers even your anti-SARAs, then you don't leave anyone behind in principle. So to me, I thought that 10 can do, but if the committee feels like it's too much or is lesser, we need to add more, being a very serious bill that affects each and every person. I want to hear from all of you, how do you feel about this suggestion, and maybe add to what we already have, as this is just a framework to what we think can work. Kayla?
Thank you, Chair. Just coming out of my own public hearings, I do think that 5 is fine, but I also think that there are other mechanisms that you can use to make sure that you increase the number of submissions received. And I'd be happy to ask my own procedural officer to send them over, but they would include, for example, using WhatsApp as a way to make transmissions, as a way to make submissions. Also, by using graphics, which should be shared and be very simple ahead of each sitting or a public meeting. Media alerts ahead of each public meeting, an initial statement that they will take place, and a concluding statement. I would also advise that you look at using targeted social media, which includes ways in which people can make submissions, either by WhatsApp, using the online form, maybe writing to your office, but I don't recommend that because of the state of our postal services, and also by emailing. Then I'm just trying to think what else we did that was helpful. You can also make a page on the Western Cape Provincial Parliament website dedicated to this, which includes all the ways that people can make submissions and has all the information about the bills. And then you can also, what works quite nicely is do paid media on your radio, because we know that radio is actually the most used form of media, where you just record yourself talking about the bill, encouraging people to make submissions, and telling people how to make submissions. That would be my suggestion. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Member August?
No, Chairperson, I'm in support of Member Murray. She's covered everything. Thank you.
Okay. Member Sileku?
Yeah. Good morning, Chair. Chair, you've asked a question in terms of the number, not on the different methods that one would have to use.
Yeah.
As much as I would agree with the different methods of promoting participation, but the question that you've raised is that how many do we need to do? And also about what I would suggest that maybe, Chair, we should look at how many districts do we have within our province, and try maybe to look in terms of trying to bring all the bees, in a particular district to one venue, and then we don't leave anyone, behind. Make sure that, we do that. I think that would help, because also, like you have said also, that there will be a lot of interest in terms of this particular bill. And also one needs to understand as well the market that will be affected by this particular bill, and the methods of advertising would also speak to the market that you want to reach. And also, I'm always cognizant of the fact that who is it that you want to reach, and as much as my colleague has mentioned, that whatever she has mentioned would also just complement whatever we want to do. But I would suggest that you look in terms of the district and do it in that way, and make sure that municipalities are involved in making sure that your anti-SARAs are not left behind. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So I've noted your request, Kayla. It's okay. Kayla?
Sorry, Chair, if I can just follow up and make a suggestion.
No, before you continue, I wanted to ask to think in this fashion. So first, if we have to start the process after it comes to us, it's going to be during winter. What, that's number one. Number two, this is the land expropriation bill that impacts on it's more than of the copyright that it might get the attention, more attention than we anticipated. So the worst thing is to have about 200 people that want, because it's an emotive bill. Have about 100 people that you have to cut and say, no, we are done for 50. And then we'll come back again while we budgeted for only 5. So I just wanted to throw you that, think about it, that, I mean, National, when it was doing the land expropriation, it was excruciating pain that people were waiting for a very long time to do their submissions because they didn't want to do it in writing. Because you can do it, we can give the options, but others will want to bring that emotions in. Looking at all the time when you do the engagement, you see there are different people that comes because of how everything has affected them from different villages, for being moved from, it has a very serious impact, talking to also the past system of the apartheid and all that. So keep that in mind in the numbers as you do that. Kayla, you can continue, ma. Okay, she is gone, I think, or something is wrong. Member Isaac?
No, Chair, I think I've raised I think you can also put a lot, like you can put a number, but it does not mean you're going to do all that.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Just
the
put a
most
number,
important, yes, the most important thing is the allocation of the budget, that we work on that are we on par, or doesn't shortchange you, so that you can say, no, we said this, so we stick to that. So with that being said, members, so for now it will be, I'm going to say we put 10 for now.
I agree with you, Chair. Rather put more, and then at least you'll have money. But if you don't spend it, then it's a saving, rather than doing. Yeah, we don't want to spend for the sake of spending, but let us try to reach as many as we can, and yeah, let us not shoot ourselves in the foot as well by limiting ourselves by putting a specific number. Then that is going to be less. But I would support your 10.
Okay, thank you very much. Because the worst thing is, if we are done with this, with all the costs, and then somebody takes us to court and they said we didn't do enough, and we have to restart again to do that. So it's better to be safe. Thank you very much. So with that being continued, Shumis.
Okay, Chairpersons, then it's just meetings that we've slotted in, but just so that we have those spaces. But I am of the assumption that these meetings will then have to be shifted to make space for the public hearings. So I have included meeting slots up until the new financial year. As you can see, we'll be ending off with the appropriation bill in March 2024. And we've already had a look at the expenditure totals here. So I will just do the amendment to this particular business plan and include the 10 public hearings in the 6 districts that we have. I didn't include the City of Cape Town here because the City of Cape Town would then just be the catering here, but we will do everything in the chamber, so the expenses won't be to the extent that it would be in a different area or district.
Okay, can I ask something, Shumis? If
Sure.
For this financial year, we did spend about 352, and we didn't have a legislation that we did for the for this financial year, because we are not done with it. But our expenditure for the 2023-2024 it's lesser than that.
Chairperson, I'm sure that the expenditure will be the budget will accommodate the public hearings for all the committees that have to go out on public hearings. The management will adjust the budget to accommodate those public hearings.
No, I do understand. So what I'm saying is that we are saying 2.1. The estimated committee expenditure is 343,58444. Ne? It's
That's
including the legislation. But this 2022 financial year, we didn't have a legislation and we did spend 352,146.
Yes, that is because of the oversight visits that we went on to all the districts.
And then this financial year, you anticipate that we are not going to do that?
No, because we had more in-office meetings in our business plan, as opposed to more oversight visits. But now with the legislation that has come, this total will increase, and I would also have to include the 10 visits that we've just now indicated, because I didn't project for 10 visits. So I will amend this business plan to include 10 visits.
Okay, I do understand.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to emphasize on that so that we can do that. Okay, members, with that in front of you, can we adopt that with those changes that will come for our expenditure?
Agree, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Seconded, Chair.
Thank you, Member Sileku. They're duly adopted. And the quarterly report. Okay, for the quarterly report, go to the attendance. I think that's always what members. Check your name and the attendance. Okay, let's continue. Apology for one meeting, member. Sean, is that in order?
That was for the meeting of
The 25th of November.
Yes, Chairperson, I can't actually see the screen at this point in time.
Okay, you attended all the meetings. It's only the 25th of November that you sent an apology.
Let me just try again, Chairperson. I'll reshare my screen so that Member August is included.
Here we go, I can see it now.
Okay, so over here we have 25 November, 17 of October, 11 November, 25 November, 28 November, and then we have an apology for 25 November.
That's in order. Thank you, Chairperson.
Okay, thank you very much. And that
is the quarterly budget that we expended at that particular point in time.
Okay. So members, can we adopt the
Yes, we can
quarterly
adopt
report? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
And then last is the tracking document. The tracking document, this is the master one, so that we can see all the old pending documents, and this one is from the 12th of April 2022. I have contacted the municipalities to ask them where is the outstanding information. I haven't received a response from them as yet, but the other information up until 17 October, we have received that information. The reason why it's only up until 17 October, because for the November, we didn't have resolutions that was taken, as we saw in the minutes. And then January's minutes weren't adopted as yet. And March's minutes and the oversight report hasn't been adopted as yet. So as soon as this meeting is concluded, I will then draft letters to send out to the various stakeholders who need to respond. Also through your chairperson, I would also like to know, seeing that we're going to be so busy with these public hearings and things, will it be okay to then schedule meetings like this, adoption meetings, so that we are able to keep abreast with all of the decisions to be sent out?
Yeah,
Seeing that
let's use the Fridays because our slot is bi-weekly on the Fridays, but we can always, if there's nothing happening on the cluster B, and just use an hour. We thought that 30 minutes, but that means we will need an hour always to adopt that. So let's always look at that to adopt. So we don't have a full meeting, but for adoption of the documents, it will be the Fridays that we don't have a full-blown meeting.
Okay.
And it will be virtual. So we can always adopt to the virtual way, and the meetings will be in person.
Fantastic. So are we going to adopt the tracking document? I think this is the last document
Yeah.
to be adopted.
I will request the proposer and the seconder, and then that will be done.
So proposed, Chair.
Thank you, Member Seleko.
Second, Chair.
Thank you, Member August. Miss, that was all that we needed to do for the day.
Yes, that is.
Okay. Members, Shamis, is there something else?
No, that's it, Chairperson. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Members, thank you for availing yourself for today. I think we are going to meet now when we communicate about the budgets, and then after the budget, we won't be talking to the Standing Committee on Human Settlements. It will be a new name, I think, the infrastructure. So with that being said, I appreciate you and thanks for availing yourself. Shumi, thanks for arranging this. Candice, thanks for support. And Nomfundo, as always, thank you very much. And the meeting is adjourned.